Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Adrian here. Today's topic, I wanted to talk a little bit about gear. Now, I know everyone kind of likes to talk about gear and everything like that, but with today's conversation and with the way things have kind of been evolving and with all the new technology and the new cameras coming out, I think this is a very relevant video for a lot of creators, especially new and upcoming creators. Let's talk about it. Alright, so as you know, 2021, we've seen a range of different cameras from Nikon, from the Z9, the Z6, the Z7, to Sony's new A7S III, the Sony FX3, the Sony A1, and then we got Canon's lineup of the R6, the R5, the new R system, the new R3 potentially coming up, and then the R1 later on in the near future. There are so many choices and it's so easy to get kind of convoluted in this situation of what's the best gear for you or how much money should you really fork out into cameras, especially if you're an up and coming YouTuber or content creator. One of the things I can't stress enough when I was starting out is that gear matters, but it doesn't matter as much as you may think it does. Let me explain a little bit in detail. What I mean by this, and I've always kind of tried to say this even in my earlier videos, that your story will always trump the quality and cinematics of your videos. And what I mean by that is most of the time audiences are more interested and they want to get more involved with the story behind whatever you're talking about rather than just focusing purely on the cinematics. The B-roll and stuff obviously help to enhance the story, but the main kind of let's say the spine of the body of your work is in the story, right? So your story doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be cinematically great, but it needs to have some kind of engaging experience. Like you want to leave the audience with some kind of experience. Like when I was in film school, they always talked about an experience within an experience, always leaving the audience wanting more or at least getting a takeaway from the movie. Why do they feel this way? What kind of emotion did you evoke from them? And while cinematics are great, you can't necessarily do that with cinematics, purely cinematics. You need to have some kind of arc, you need to have some kind of plot, you need some kind of story, you need a villain, you need a hero. Sometimes you don't need either. But generally, you need something. The audience needs something to chase. They need something that they can relate to. We are creatures of emotion. We are creatures that are sociable. So we need this. This is something inherently in our DNA. So when it comes back to camera gear, I would stress that if you're an up and coming content creator, don't worry about all the newest gear. Worry about your budget and what you can afford. So let's say, for example, your budget is, let's say, maybe $2,000, okay? 2,000 Australian dollars. And the Canon R is, let's say, 2,500. It's a little bit over your budget. What you could do is you could go for something like the Canon 80D, which is a fantastic vlogging camera. It's a DSLR, and that'll cost you back, let's say, roughly about 1,400 new. Or you can buy it used for about $800 to $900,000. Then you get yourself like a nifty 50, a cheap lens with it, and you're pretty much ready to go within that budget. You could also even probably fit in a light. And now you got a bit of more of a setup. And even if you have a little bit more, you get yourself one of these, a Video Micro. And these are fantastic, guys. I highly recommend it. I always have one of these in my backpack. I love them. About 50 to 60, 70 bucks. And this is going to serve you fantastic audio, charges from the camera, and you're rolling. It's honestly really great, and I highly recommend it. So something like that. Now, if your budget's a little bit higher, I definitely recommend going into the mirrorless line of the R system, or if Canon's not your thing, Sony has some great cameras coming out. The Sony A7 III, the A7S III is obviously a little bit over budget. The Sony A7 II, and it depends if you want to do more photography, then you can look at the R side, the A7R II, the A7R III. There's a lot of options, guys. Like, my point is, there's a lot. But truth be told, I would stress that you focus more on your storytelling abilities than what you can get out cinematically. You don't necessarily need 4K, 8K, 6K, all that stuff. When it goes on YouTube, it's going to be compressed anyway. And for the most part, it's going to be kind of like a downsampled version of your high-res video footage anyway. Let's be honest. That's just how it is. You can make it sharp and everything like that, but it's not going to be the way it looks, let's say, in a theater or you know, your monitor or a nice, you know, 55-inch TV. It's just not going to look like that. YouTube needs to compress it. There's a lot of content being constantly uploaded, so this is something that you need to think about as well. I guess sort of what I'm saying is, guys, is that gear isn't necessarily the answer to all means for you to be an amazing YouTuber or content creator. You can create amazing content with any tool you have. Obviously, the more expensive gear you have, it gives you more options. It makes it less work and it's easier on you. But I would stress that if you get a chance, get one of the older DSLRs like the 80D, the 60D, the 70D, the 90D is even a great option if that's within your budget, and just start from there. You know, at the end of the day, cameras are just tools, guys, and it comes down to the operator and how you know how to use the camera in order to make engaging and great content. So guys, keep creating, don't ever give up. And for those that are still going and striving and doing a good job with whatever you're using, good on you guys. Like, look, I myself am honestly excited for the R3. I'm not a crazy gearhead, but I do like the evolvement of new technology and, you know, the better bodies and everything like that. But in all honesty, I'm shooting currently on the R6 and I absolutely love this camera. It's pretty much a near perfect camera to me, and I can see myself using this for the next couple of years, to tell you the truth, and I absolutely love it. So guys, continue creating with whatever you have. If the phone is all you have, use your phone, guys, but just keep creating. Invest in some lighting. I would recommend lighting and lenses over camera bodies any day of the week. Lenses last, and lenses are so great to have, guys. You need to have a range of lenses, not a range, but just pick the lenses that work for you. And I would always stress lens over body, guys. You might have like an older version of a DSLR, like let's say a 40D or something like that. If you got like a nice Sigma 18-35, your quality's still going to look pretty good, especially if you got a nice if you know how to light and you got some nice LEDs and stuff to light you up. You guys are going to be shining. So keep creating, guys. I believe in yous. Keep striving, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Don't stop creating, guys. Love yous.